And welcome to what I'd like to call VHS Roulette. You can play it at home if you'd like. It's fairly easy. All you need is a VCR and a willingness to take a chance. That's all it takes. Um, Hopefully, I really hope that everyone in their hometown or wherever they live has a thrift store, and at this thrift store, you can still purchase tapes. Um, if not, I'm sure it's maybe like 10-20 minute drive, and you could make it to a nice place that will sell you a few tapes. But really, all you need is like 20, 30 tapes to look at. So you go to your thrift store and you buy a couple tapes, and you just buy them on the cover alone. Cover, the title, the actor, something you like about it. Just grab them, but you can't have seen them before. Even if you think you've seen them, don't get it. Just leave that one there for the next guy or girl. And so buy your tapes, take them home, and put one in and watch it. I'm not saying you have to watch the whole thing. I did. I still am with this one. This is. I'm watching this sword fight for the second time in a row. It's the only kind of good part of this movie. Anyway, so the tapes I found were The Silent Partner with Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer. I don't really like Elliot Gould. I thought he was great in MASH, but this movie looks like a quality thriller. Like this is what I should have put in the tape deck, but I didn't. Instead, I'm watching this right now, Out of Reach, which I'm sure had several different titles, considering that apparently the story changed, the plot changed, characters were taken out, and you know, all I can say is at least this was a fairly short movie. It wasn't even 90 minutes, so I can thank the director or the editor, whoever did that. I can thank them for that. Thank you. I got this because I have enjoyed some Steven Seagal movies like Under Siege and Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. And yeah, I like those two. I'm sure he did like one or two. Marked for Death. I think I like that one too. I'm not sure. He did a lot of movies. He's still making movies. I think. I think he's doing something in Russia now. I'm not sure. I think he might be a Russian citizen. I know he was a cop for a while. Like he became a real police officer, and then he had a bunch of cameras follow him around. Which, I mean, sounds like a good show. But no. So this movie, the majority takes place in Poland, which is nice. You don't see a lot of movies that take a lot of action films that take place in Poland. Um, Steven Seagal plays an ex CSA agent, which I'm guessing is like the CIA kind of. Basically, it means he's a badass, and all of his fighting skills are immediately explained. Whatever fighting skills he has, which pretty much at this point in his career, he's not doing the high kicks. He's not doing anything really strenuous. Most of his fighting is just kind of like deflecting and like getting people. It's like, no, don't touch me. It's kind of like that, where he's just like, anyone tries to hit him, they're just immediately deflected, and then he'll maybe throw a few punches, maybe kick somebody and break their shin or something. And so there's a lot of like down kicking because he can't really go very far because he's starting to bulge a little bit. And this is 2004, but he's definitely on a decline in this film because this look. I'm absolutely sure that, at least I'm pretty sure that this didn't hit theaters. Anyway, so he has a pen pal, a young girl, a 14-year-old girl who lives in an orphanage, and he's a exchange letters with her, and uh, he's kind of her silent benefactor in a sense. Though he says he sends money, but I don't really see. Maybe he's paying for her to live at the orphanage, which doesn't sound great. But eventually, some shady business people show up, and they purchase like a few of the orphans, all young teenage girls, and then you find out that they are involved in human trafficking. Yes, and already, just when you start watching a movie and it becomes about human trafficking, you already feel really gross and kind of sad because the more I watch this, the more I realize that it's like a real thing, and some of the things that went on in this movie probably aren't far from the truth. So that was kind of really disturbing and gross. But anyway, so she's picked up, the young girl is picked up by these um, evil business guys, and then basically sold into human trafficking. But she's still being transported, and then Steven finds out about it and goes after her. And because they've been pen paling back and forth, uh, he's taught her this code, this cipher. So wherever she is, she leaves a little note for him, so he always knows where to find her, and yada yada yada. Um, he follows the trail of breadcrumbs all the way to the higher ups, and there's a big shootout and stuff. And this guy's the main bad guy. He's not Polish. He's definitely a white dude. He was basically every early 2000 movie you'd see this actor in it, but mostly he'd be in the background. He'd be one of the one of the baddies, but not like the best one. He'd always say something kind of sinister and then walk away or kill somebody. But in this, he's kind of the main bad guy, and uh, but all we know about him is that he likes to fence, he likes to sword fight, and like you might have just seen, the big climactic ending is he has a sword fight with Steven Seagal, and I don't know if I've ever seen Seagal in a sword fight, maybe with like a katana or something, but this was very, it was a little bit exciting, but the movie in its entirety, in its completely wholly watch state, was altogether exhausting. It's a movie that makes you just kind of want to curl up and maybe just cry yourself to sleep and just hope that when you wake up, there's a better movie out there somewhere waiting for you. Because this was, the acting was bad, of course, which, I don't personally mind it so much when the acting's bad as long as they're saying something stupid and funny. But no one's saying anything in this movie. It's just this dialogue that you could make up in your head. It's None of the villains are interesting. Sword Boy here isn't very scary. He's just greasy and stupid. And as he gets closer and closer to finding this girl, you care less and less whether he does or not. You kind of just want a giant meteor to come out of the sky and just destroy everything and everyone. The one good thing I can say about it, and this is true, they shot on a lot of really good locations. I don't know who they bribed, or maybe they spent like half the budget on Seagal and then like a quarter of the budget on locations, maybe more, because the locations were really nice. Everything, these giant coliseums and mansions, and I'm hoping that it was all in Poland because we'd never really get to see really good locations in Poland. I think this one showed it off very well. There's a lot of really great panning shots um, of these great structures, and They show a little bit of it, like right here. They show, and but that's it. I mean, that I can't think of anything else redeeming of the movie. What was really funny was that half of Seagal's lines were dubbed. They were dubbed by another actor, a voice actor, who was basically paid to redo some of Steven Seagal's lines because halfway through making the movie, they decided to change the plot significantly. And to do that, they had to make up new lines for the actors to say, but Seagal wasn't going to re-record his lines or redo a scene, so they just dubbed over his voice with this guy that doesn't sound anything like him. And they used him so much. They use the voice actor guy in the opening narration. So you're seeing flashes of Seagal writing the little girl letters, and you're wondering who the hell is talking and what the hell is going on here, because it's supposed to be Seagal that's thinking and writing all these letters and everything, but it's clearly not him. And your mind's suddenly just like, what is happening? Who is this person? Why is he narrating their lives? And then sometimes this voice actor's lines come out of his mouth, and then it gets really confusing. And but I guess you got to do what you got to do. Seagal was one of the executive producers on this film, so I'm guessing he was okay with it. I mean, I guess he paid for part of it at least. Uh, the movie's directed by Po Chi Leong, and that's it. Just don't watch this. I'm never gonna watch it again. This is going straight into the trash because I don't think I don't believe that anyone else will find joy in this film. And I'm sorry, Mr. Seagal, this is one of the worst films you've ever made, and I haven't even seen close to all the movies he's made. But this is the worst one that I've seen so far. So don't watch this. Try the roulette, but try to pick a little bit better than I did. And have a good day.